Welcome back. Excuse me. Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So, welcome to another market open stream. Happy Monday. This week is gearing up to be a great week. Already. And that's because of what happened last night and what may be happening today. And if all these things happen, Bitcoin's big move is finally going to start. So let's talk about everything. All right, let's do it. Let's do it, guys. Welcome. We are starting out the day right around 106. So obviously much better than just a few days ago when we were still hovering around 100, 101, right? But we're not fully recovered. Obviously, we got a lot more to go, but it is a start. It is a start. Now, what happened yesterday? What happened today? Well, the government shut down, okay? It's looking like it finally is going to come to an end. So yesterday, the Senate voted and they passed the first stage of a deal, which means now they get to vote again. And I believe that's today. That would basically end the shutdown. Okay. This has been ongoing for over a month, the longest shutdown in history, and it was starting to affect a lot of things. Wall Street did not like it, obviously. Just been going on for too long. We've been losing tens of billions of dollars per day. We have hundreds of thousands of workers off. And even air traffic controllers and the FAA, they're starting to go home and say, we're just going to start canceling flights. I think that may have been the straw that broke the camel's back to force some of these guys to play ball and say, okay, we gotta stop, because even their air travel, their vacation time is going to get affected. So it looks like they're going to move forward with another vote. This is all stemming, I guess, around this Affordable Care Act, which the Democrats wanted to extend, but the Republicans did not. But then they're coming to agreement somehow. They're going to vote for this in December again or something with the Republicans backing it or something like that. But yeah, that's kind of what I got from this. And of course, if this gets done and the shutdown is officially over today, that would be a very, very good thing. Very good thing indeed. And finally, we could get some economic data. I mean, we've gotten like little pieces here and there, but we've been missing so much data. It'll be interesting to see what they say, if the economy is still doing good or really bad. And, that may affect our next rate cut drastically in December. And then along with this, it seems like a whole lot of Americans are going to get another stimulus check. A $2,000 stimulus check for most Americans. I don't know what the cutoff is. Only they're like the super rich are not gonna get it, but for everyone else, they will. I don't know when this is gonna come, but as soon as this was announced, this also helped Bitcoin and crypto tick upwards. So I don't know why we need another tariff. I mean, why we need another stimulus check? Overall stimulus checks has not helped the economy, has put us further in debt, but I'm assuming this is coming from the tariffs. The supposed tariffs that collected hundreds of billions of dollars that we may have to give back if the Supreme Court rules that tariffs are illegal. So I don't know what's going to happen if you already give this out and then you have to pay back what you collected. Then where's that money coming from? We would be $440 billion short. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how the math is mathing if that's the case. But a lot of people A lot of people like to spend. So a lot of people that get this will deposit straight into their Robinhood account or a Coinbase account, and that would be good. That would be good for crypto. All right, what else is there? The acting CFTC chair seeks to launch leverage spot crypto trading next month. So you know all the American-based exchanges right now does not offer leverage, only the foreign ones do. That's going to change. So pretty soon, I mean, you have like Coinbase and Kraken and Gemini offering like futures trading a little bit for overseas, but not for US. Pretty soon, all these exchanges will offer leverage. Now, I was thinking about this. We all know that leverage has been pretty disastrous for crypto so far, right? Obviously, a month ago, we had the biggest liquidation event. We've been having billions liquidate every single week, it seems like. But here's the thing. Here's why I think they want to approve this. Because CFTC and SEC and everyone else knows all this leverage trading is happening on foreign exchanges where they have really no control over or insight into, right? But if you allow the American-based exchanges to offer this, then they figure a lot of trading will come back to the US exchanges where they do have a lot of control and oversight into. And it'll make the foreign exchanges weaker. And I'm hoping that's the case, because if that's their line of thinking, that will diminish the power of, let's say, Binance and OKX and Bybit and all these guys that are kind of controlling the market right now because they have all the liquidity. Most of the liquidations, it happens on Bybit or Binance and OKX. So it takes power away from them, and it puts power back into the exchanges here. That's one way of looking at it. Another way is just like, oh, it's not going to be good overall, which I don't know. It's arguable, but I do think if that's the case, if they're thinking this is going to bring more power control and actually smooth out some of the volatility because now we're not dependent on these foreign exchanges, then I think that's good. That could be a good thing. That could be a good thing. We'll see. We'll see. All right. What else? Let's see. ETFs. Friday was not a good day for Bitcoin. Big outflow. Friday. Last week wasn't good all around. Last week was just horrible. Okay, for Bitcoin and crypto. That's why we fell back down to 101 again. We fell below 100. So on Friday, obviously a lot of panic, 560 million outflow. Ethereum, not as bad, 46 million outflow, okay? And Solana is the only one that had inflow of 12.7 million. So we'll see if that reverses this week. Strangely enough, like on Thursday, there was a big reversal, and then Friday happened, and then it's like, oh, Friday is just like everyone was afraid of the government shutdown again and all that, and it's just like never ending. But as soon, it may be ending today, which is good. Also, here's what's really strange too. We know that there are some Bitcoin whales that have been selling off, either buying ETH, it seems like, or shorting against the market, or simply selling. I don't know how legit this is, but according to this article, which pointed to this person, he's been claiming that the Winklevoss twins themselves, who are the owners of Gemini Exchange, they've been selling their own Bitcoin. They've been transferring Bitcoin to their hot wallet. And this is not like selling for the people. They're selling themselves. They're from their own holdings. And he's assuming that these transfers are sells because they're transferring to the hot wallet. They have sold 9,000 Bitcoin year to date. Again, we don't know if this is actually true, but it could be. I don't know. I don't know why they would sell nearly 1 billion of their own Bitcoin, but it just seemed like this cycle is weird. We have all these like whales out of nowhere. All of a sudden that woke up after 10 years and they decided to sell like $1 billion or like $100 million, and then they're like shorting the market. Like, where is that coming from? Why now? You know, it's like out of the blue. It's so weird. It's weird. So again, I don't know. There's a lot of finger pointing at this point, right? However, this is all speculation. What's not speculation? Well, if you look at, again, the fundamentals of Bitcoin and the overall ecosystem is great. Here's a guy that just closed his 11-month short on strategy. Okay. He is a famous shorter. I guess even more famous than Michael Burry. Because Michael Burry always just like shorts everything, and he's been wrong since 2008. Jim, it sounds like Thanos. Jim Thanos. Chanos. He finally closed his 11-month short on strategy because strategy is like NAV basically. Have fallen to a point where he's like, okay, they're not overvalued right now. They're not overvalued anymore, so I'm going to close it. So does this mean that MicroStrategy is about to go up? Does this mean this is a good thing for all Bitcoin treasury companies, right? We'll see. I don't really think MicroStrategy's like stock performance really had anything to do with just his short position. I think a lot of it had to do with Bitcoin overall, and also Saylor's strategy of selling off shares to buy Bitcoin. But, you know, who knows? Maybe his short position was so large it was holding it down. And maybe he has other short positions too that he may be closing now. Because he recognizes, well, this is just not the right time to be shorting anymore. We'll see. But strategy continues to add. They added another 487 Bitcoin. So that's roughly 50 million. So Saylor does not care who's shorting his company or who's betting against him. He will continue to do what he's doing, and that is to just add more Bitcoin. And he's about to come out with another company, or maybe he has already, in Europe to raise more money to buy more Bitcoin. So he has all these preferred stock holding companies, Strike, Strike. I don't know. He has many strikes and strike. I don't know what STRE is anymore. But yeah, he has 5 different companies now, along with strategy, and they give out dividend, but overall they just raise money to buy more Bitcoin. That's it. So that's not gonna stop. You have Mitsubishi, which is one of the biggest banks in Japan and on the planet. 605 billion in market cap. I don't know market cap of holdings. Maybe a market cap. Mitsubishi is huge in Japan. Well, they just added strategy, okay, which is basically like buying Bitcoin. You have BNY Mellon that increased their Bitcoin holdings by 140% last quarter. So you definitely still have a lot of accumulation, right? You have a lot of people, like retail people and maybe some Wall Street guys that have become so fearful they just stopped adding. But some of these, the biggest whales, the biggest institutions out there, they know what's up. They don't care. They don't care about the FUD that's happening now, like the government shutdown. They know it's going to be over. Government shutdown is not going to happen. It's not going to last for years. And everything else that we're going through, you know, they've seen. They know. And if they understand, they will continue to accumulate. Like most of us that are long-term holders, right? But a lot of retail people, a lot of Wall Street traders, they don't. And they will sell off. Anytime we have a little weakness or a little bit of a prolonged sideways action, I guess. All right. Now, just a few other things that show that Bitcoin and his big move is about to start. I think we need a big catalyst like this government shutdown ending, which could be a huge one. But obviously, we're in November. This is normally known as Pumpvember, and a lot of bottom indicators. Here's a supplies quantiles cost basis model. Okay, the thing to take from this is when we hit yellow or orange in this case, that's a bottom indicator. That happened right around October of last year. It happened around October 2023. And even happened around April this year, even though we didn't actually hit that line. And there's others like this too. Here's the 50 weekly moving average, which we have hit several times, and then we have bounced right off from it and went higher. Here's something else too. What he called a Satoshi meter. It's the MVRV, which you could see from the previous cycles when we topped out, we're actually closer to the bottom than we are to top, even though we are hovering around or over $100,000. But this, you could see clearly, we are nowhere near top, and we have 30 indicators here that measures Bitcoin's top, and not a single one is pointing to sell, which means that it has measured a top. 30 plus different indicators that are measuring tops all indicate we have not hit top. So it's not over. It's not over. And the last time the government reopened in 2019, strangely enough, that was during Trump's first term, I believe, also. So the last two has been with Trump. But last time the government reopened, this is what happened. Okay, Bitcoin was stuck below 4,000, if you can believe that. It was stuck below 4,000. Did not seem like it was going to recover. People thought that at 20,000 that we fell down from was never going to be hit again. Trust me, I know, because I was streaming, and it was very bearish. And no one wanted to believe that Bitcoin could ever recover to 20,000, let alone hit 100,000. But, after the government reopened, that's what happened. Bitcoin went up 300%. Now, this could only happen if we continue on, past January, which could be very likely this cycle, because of all the institutions, because them leading the way and DCAing and holding. So I guess we'll see. We'll see if history rhymes, I guess, right? All right, last two things. XRP is set to get their ETF this week. So far for Sol, Bitwise and Grayscale, it's been adding hundreds of millions. We haven't really seen a price difference because of it, but it's going to add up. XRP also about to get theirs, and there's many that's coming out. So this could help XRP in a big way. And obviously Ripple's been doing well. They just raised a whole bunch of money. They're worth $40 billion now after raising $500 million. So this definitely can help. And then, of course, Solana's rebounding because of ETFs and treasury companies and major institutions starting to get involved. I think it's going to be the same thing with all these companies, all these chains that get their ETFs. That's what it's going to do. It's going to drive in money. It's going to get institutions involved. It's going to get companies to start treasury companies, or start treasuries, I should say. And these are all good things. Good things. All right. That is it. The US market is still pretty green. You have like Coinbase up 3%. Bitwise, Solana staking. I don't know why I've searched that. Robin is up big. Nvidia's up big. So far so good. Bitcoin lost a little bit, 105.2, but you have Solana that's at 166. H-bar having a big day at 8%, probably because they already have an ETF. But XRP's up 6%, probably rumors about, not rumors, but confirmed listing dates for ETFs. Yeah, that's about it. We're waiting for that catalyst. All right, let's do some Q&A. Steve Thompson says, I'm strapped off. That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. There's too much whale dumping or retail dumping. I don't know what it is. Okay, today is actually a really good day, at least for markets, U.S. markets, tech, NASDAQ, risk on assets. So it should be helping Bitcoin and crypto. But I don't know. Maybe there's still a lot of whales or retail that are too fearful and they're dumping right now. But I do think the government shutdown ending is going to be a big thing. I think most people anticipate it's going to happen today because they're going to re-vote on it. And we can finally move past it. Get some economic data. Focus on the last 2 months of this year. That's what we need. We need clarity. No more uncertainty. We need some clarity. Got your T3 skipping stones. Awesome. As for the NFTs or Vegas trip for Clash holders and NFT holders, the deadline's going to be this Friday. So if you want to go to Vegas, sign up, grab your NFT, your T3, and fill out the RSVP form that's in Discord. Last chance. Or you can't go. But there'll be more. There'll be more trips in the future. This is just the first one. Most boring bull run ever. That's because it hasn't really hit yet. It hasn't really hit yet. We've been trending higher, but we haven't hit that bull mode yet. We had it last year for a few months. We haven't had it yet. At the end of this year, still waiting for it. Man, my nose is itchy. Really itchy for some reason. Am I going to do a European meet? Maybe. I don't know what countries in Europe I actually really would like to go to. If I was going to do a meet, it would probably be in the UK because they speak English. I don't know if I would do it in any other country. RS6 or M5 Touring? I don't know. I think RS6 looks better. M5 Touring looks good. I drove it for a little bit. It has this weird sound muffling thing going on inside the car. It really bothered me. I haven't driven a RS6 yet. So, I don't know. I think I would pick the RS6, to be honest. It's older, but it still looks great, and it's just as fast. The new M5 uses hybrid technology, so they added 1,000 pounds worth of battery in there, and it just makes it really heavy. Manaflex, appreciate that. they speak English everywhere in Europe. That's not really the case. I was in Paris. Very little people spoke English. They knew like a few words. That's it. Not everyone knows how to speak English in Europe. Although I haven't like visited Amsterdam, like Amsterdam could be a good one. Could be a good place for a meetup. It sounds fun. I don't know if people speak English in Amsterdam. The French are exception. They pretend not to know how to speak. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Glad to see at least Robinhood's coming back up, almost 5%. There was no reason for them to fall that much after their earnings, after their spectacular earnings. So glad to see that happen. Nvidia up almost 4%. Again, no reason for them to sell off last week. Zero whatsoever, but I did add both on a dip. Coinbase up slightly, still kind of suppressed. AMD having a good day because they also fell down quite a lot. And Broadcom's coming back up. See, today is good right now for NASDAQ, tech, S&P 500 companies. Don't know what it is right now with Bitcoin. Who's holding us back? If it's these whales or exchanges, don't know. Seems like there's always so much leverage, and every single day we hear about, oh, okay, another 500 million or another billion liquidated. Wondering if it's just exchanges that are holding us back through all these liquidations. That's probably the reason why I've said this at the beginning. The U.S. wants to bring leverage trading back to the U.S. because at least they can actually see and regulate this kind of stuff and take the power away from these foreign exchanges. You know, like for bilingual or trilingual or quadlingual people, like if you think about it, if you could speak 4 languages, you could pretty much travel anywhere in the world. And I would say those 4 languages are English, Spanish, Mandarin Chinese, and then I don't know what the 4th would be. Like, I don't know if it's like Russian, because I know a lot of people in Europe, Eastern Europe, and Russia obviously speak Russian. Or if it's some kind of Middle Eastern language like Arabic. But I think if you know these 4 languages, you could pretty much go anywhere in the world. Yeah, probably Arabic. I don't know about French. How's the house project going? Well, I've been streaming here in my new house for like 2 years, so I'd say the house project is over. So Hindi, yeah, I was gonna say that, but I think that's just in India, just due to their large population. But if you go outside of India, I don't know who speaks Hindi. I know a lot of European countries speak Russian. Um, but again, if you add on total population, it's probably not that big. I think it has to be Arabic. Arabic, Mandarin, Spanish, and English. I mean, that's pretty much everywhere. I can't imagine go anywhere that you can't use one of these 4 languages and get around. India, obviously, they speak English. Um, Australia speaks English. I mean, like South America, mostly it's all Spanish. I know there's Portuguese too, but I'm sure Spanish and English gets you around in South America. And in Europe, English and Spanish will get you around. Yeah, those four languages. Uh, get a Swiss bank account. It used to be you get a Swiss bank account and you don't have to worry about anything. Like, but now it's not the same. The US can subpoena any Swiss bank account and they'll give it up. That changed a few years ago. So don't think you have a Swiss bank account, you're untouchable. Because that was the safe haven for all the, money laundering and illegal funds and stuff like that. At least that was what was told, but I'm sure most of the accounts aren't illicit, from illicit activities. But yeah, I don't think that applies anymore. Now they have that translate, like I know Apple built in a new translate thing into their AirPods. So while people are talking, you could just like hear in your own language, but then it doesn't work in the other direction. But we're pretty close to having that universal translator. Like in Star Trek, they have this universal translator and everyone just speaks English. We're getting pretty close to that. It has instant translation, but like when you're talking back, it doesn't. You have to show it on your phone. But if they're wearing AirPods, then both people just hear it in their own language. And that would be kind of crazy. George is a BTC hero in Asia. I don't know about that. I don't think I have a large Asian community. I know like Philippines and Singapore maybe, but like I don't think people in Japan watch me on YouTube. I don't even know if YouTube is big in there. And Taiwan doesn't have a large crypto community. Like their YouTube channel doesn't have a lot of like people talking about Bitcoin. And China obviously has YouTube blocked. So I don't know. In Thailand? Okay, that's good to know. Are you from Thailand? It's funny. There's a lot of Uber drivers in Vegas that do not speak English. And that bothered the hell out of me. Because we're talking about Vegas. Like the last time I went to Vegas, not the last time, 2 times ago, I took a couple Uber rides and they didn't speak any lick of English. Like, because I went to a wrong house and I tried to get him to like bring me to the right house. And he had no idea what I was saying. Like that really bothered me. Yeah, so it's everywhere. Did I miss an answer about A16Z moving? I have no idea. I don't know why you're asking that. You could ask me Clash, questions about Clash all day long. And I don't know why. I think Clash is already bigger than AI16Z. So you should just stop worrying about that and worry about Clash. Because we're doing amazing things. In Amsterdam, people are spoken to in English by default. I don't even speak Dutch anymore. They don't even speak. That's good to know. I would like to visit Amsterdam. Salty, I'm going to remove Hindi from there because almost all of India speaks English. So I will add Arabic in there. English, Mandarin, Spanish, and Arabic. Those four. Oh, this is a complete side note. But I watched this show on Netflix called Three Body Problem. And it's a really good show. It's 8 episodes, and it starts out slow, but it gets really good at the end. I highly recommend people to watch it. And I also highly recommend, is I had some free time this weekend on Netflix to watch the new Frankenstein movie. That was actually surprisingly good. I was not, I did not have high hopes for it, but it actually turned out to be a very enjoyable movie. So, Three Body Problem, and then Frankenstein on Netflix. I did not watch Predator Badlands. We still have this. I gotta mention this for some of you guys, the Gleam giveaway for Clash. And by the way, we got listed on BTCC today. BTCC is one of my partners, and they listed Clash today, so that's good. So now we're on like 6 different sexes: BTCC, VMEX, MEXC, LBank, WEX, and some other one I've never heard of, KCTC or something like that. So this happened today. This is big news. But also the Gleam giveaway, right? This is ending in like 19 days. So a lot of ways to win. Well, a lot of ways to get entries to win. I should say that. So make sure you guys participate. This is in the description of this video and also pinned to the top of the Clash page. X page, I should say. BTCC is the oldest exchange, one of the oldest exchanges on the planet. It's older than almost every exchange that you could think of. They were out since 2011, I believe. So they're not the biggest, but they withstood every single like Black Swan event and everything that we ever had. So, but good for them. Have I ever seen Dark Waters? No, I have not. I hope to join your Clash clan soon. You know, I have a couple spots in my clan that's open. But I want to make it... Oh, by the way, our tournament was awesome on Friday. You know, I made some rule changes. We had probably... That was our probably like 6th tournament. So I've been making changes to make it fair and equal to all and get more exposure from the pros, let's say. And it worked out really well. We didn't have any cheating or anything like that. We had everyone tune in, have a good time. A lot of people took advantage of the double prize, you know, rule that we have for people that hold more than $20 in Clash. They get their prizes doubled. Almost every single person in the top 10 took advantage of that. And, you know, it's just great. There are a lot of things I'm working on. This week we should have accounts ready on the web page. So if you go to tournament right now, the entries and stuff is gone. We should have accounts ready, and that's gonna make things so much easier. We'll be able to track how many people come in, how many times they play, the placement for giveaways. For those of you guys that are, entered for giveaways, you'll know in your account if you won, and we'll be able to do some cool stuff with it too. So that's being worked on, and I'll share some alpha. I'm having a prediction market platform being worked on. I don't know how long that's going to take, but that is going to make this huge. Prediction markets, as you know, is one of the hottest things, and we're going to design one just for the tournaments and for Clash. And I think that's going to be huge. So that is also underway. There's a lot of stuff that's happening with Clash. A lot of stuff. I'll share more of it tonight. But yeah, just know that I work on this all day, every day, even on the weekends. All I'm thinking about is how to improve Clash. So all these other stuff, like someone's asking about AI 16Z or whatever, none of them are doing anything. The only community project you guys need to worry about is Clash, because this is the only one that I know that I'm putting 100% of my efforts into, and that we're doing things rather than just cheerleading like every other project. Just to throw that out there. Well, still pretty green. Everything's still pretty green, which is good. I think this week could be good. This week, we just need a jolt, okay? We just need a jolt. And that's what the ending of the government shutdown will bring us, a jolt. Now, afterwards, we need to continue that. Hopefully, retail is not completely destroyed. Retail confidence, I should say. Because right now, it just seems like every time we turn a little bit, everyone turns really bearish. Right? We need to change that. Predictions specific to Clash. So, I was thinking about like what we could do. You could have predictions about like the holders count for Clash, what the MCAP will be, right? How many people participate in a tournament. You could also do predictions about who's going to win the tournament. What place am I going to place, right? There's a million things that we can do around it. It's all related to Clash. Have I been out of the U.S. much? I've been a few. I've been in Dubai a lot. And I'm planning on going back end of this year. I went to France last year, Singapore last year. I've been to Mexico a few times. Obviously the close places like Canada and stuff. I haven't been to a lot of places. I've been to Asia, I've been to Taiwan, Hong Kong, but those were years ago. I haven't been to Europe a lot. I skipped a few trips to like Portugal and UK and Prague. I should have gone, but I was tired out. I just didn't want to go. Amsterdam. I would like to visit more of Europe, and I also like to visit China because every video I watch of China shows that they're so advanced. So I really want to visit them as well, like Shanghai or some other city in China. And I haven't been to Japan. I would like to visit Japan. So I'd say I travel a little bit, not nearly as much as some people. UK sucks. I heard the food in UK sucks. I don't know about everything else. Bar- Baron also says, "Don't come to UK. It's shit." What's so bad about the UK besides the food? You know, fish and chips and beef Wellingtons. I don't know what else there is. You know, it's just like the same thing. You go to Paris, every single Paris cafe serves the same thing. You have some kind of duck, you have some kind of snails, and some frog and it's like every single place was serving the same thing. I'm guessing in UK everyone serves fish and chips and stuff like that. But I really hated French food. I did not enjoy French food at all. That's why I had a chance to go back to France. Um, Ledger actually was having some private event. They invited me. I'm like, I don't want to go, and I don't want to get kidnapped in France either. Because it seems like a lot of people get kidnapped in France, in Paris. So I turned that down. I really did not enjoy the food. The shopping is good. Like if you want to go shop, all the luxury brands are in France and Paris. I would like to go to Italy. Italy or Greece. Um, some of these really nice. Italy would be great to like visit. I would love to visit the Colosseum. Some of these, Greece, like Athens and stuff. I like to visit those places. I would like to visit Egypt to be quite frank, to visit the pyramids, but I see endless scam videos and how all the people around there just like try to scam you when you try to visit the pyramids. So it makes me not want to go, but I would like to visit the pyramids. I think that would be very cool. Yeah, I think I would think like seeing the pyramids in person would be awesome. Like, yeah, but I hear there's just like so many scammers. It's kind of dangerous. There's like these videos of these like really good looking rooms that are overseeing the pyramids, but then all the comments say that hotel like is very dangerous. You need to have like a guide with you, or you need to have security with you because you like try to get into the hotel, you're gonna get scammed. Try to get out of the hotel, you're gonna get scammed. Buy the pyramids, you're gonna get scammed. Like, I wouldn't want to deal with that. You deal with scammers in every tourist location of any city, but not as much as that though. Like pickpocketers, right? Like I was very careful about like when I visited Paris, I was really afraid when I visited the Louvre and the museums. You know, with like a lot of people, like luckily I didn't experience it, so I'm not complaining. But I was trying to be very careful. I didn't get pickpocketed, so good for that. You know what? I was thinking about that air travel thing. Private jets are prohibited from going to a lot of airports now, so it still affects them, Lewis. I just saw something about how 40 air like 40 airports do not accept private jets anymore. And then this flight disruptions worsen. They better get this on track, man. I'm set to go to Vegas, as you guys know, for the Clash party, and a lot of other people are too. We better not have like a 3 hour, 4 hour, 5 hour delay. So in about a month, hopefully, this all should be resolved. I think this is actually the biggest tipping point for this agreement. I don't think anyone wants to see. People are gonna get really, really, really angry if no one could fly, no one could visit their families, and everyone is waiting because of a 3-5 hour delay. And this will affect the politicians too, because even their private jets are prohibited from going to a lot of airports and places now. So this was actually a good strategy, whoever did this. It's too late to be in the top 500. I took a snapshot already, like a few weeks ago. So if you were not in it, I think you had to hold at least like 190,000 Clash. If you're above 200,000, you're in. But if you're trying to get into it now, it's too late. I can't have background music because YouTube will demonetize a video. I've tried that before, even on videos where you don't monetize it. Because on my other channel, George Plays Clash Royale, I was like streaming music because it wasn't monetized. I didn't care. And it would still just shut down your video. It'll just shut down a stream saying that copyright protection or whatever. It's not even about monetization. They would just like shut down your stream. Go to Philippines. I would like to go to Philippines. I would like to visit. Well, I like to go to Bali or Thailand first before Philippines, if I'm being honest. Yeah. Did I talk about James Wynn and him getting liquidated? I mean, that's not a surprise at this point. I don't even know if he's actually doing those trades, because it seems like every single trade that he does, he'll get liquidated. At this point, you know, it's obvious that he's just driving a lot of referrals to Hyperliquid and making revenue from that, and either using that to trade or he's just not even trading at all because he's down like hundreds of millions of dollars now. Like, did he have hundreds of millions of dollars to begin with? I doubt it. So, you know, I don't know why anyone follows him anymore. It's just, you know, it's just for entertainment. But I guess people watch me for entertainment too, so it's the same thing. And we're coming up. Coming up a little bit. We just need that push, that catalyst, that little upwards push. Gold and silver are up today, which is really strange. Why would gold and silver be up today? I guess when things are good, everything's good. Even a government shutdown affected gold and silver. That doesn't make a lot of sense, but it looks like it did. STBL and Reeve Collins. I have no idea who they are. What's STBL? Yeah, no idea. do you know a good travel agency? No, I do not. I just book my own flights. All right, I've been streaming long enough. Been rambling too much. All right, overall, guys, government shutdown about to end, which is obviously a very good thing. So let's wait for that. And let's wait for Bitcoin's big move, which should be coming anytime now. All right, guys, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tonight with my stream, my class stream, and my night video. So look forward to those. Okay? Have a good one. Take care. And check out Clash. Bye-bye.